Hey everyone, good morning. Kevin with Flux here. Thank you for joining me today in our overview of the visibility and where in Flux you can your users, what your users see while interacting with your site. We'll also be defining some commonly used Flux visibility vocabulary along the way. If you should have any questions at any time during the webinar, please type it in the question section. We'll be dedicating the last segment for question and answers, so we'll be saving all your questions for then. If we don't get to your question in time, we'll try to curate those and answer them offline. So let's get started. Today's webinar topic is an overview of visibility. The topics we will discuss are visibility options in the form object, the visibility tab, the document visibility, and profile visibility. And of course, as I said earlier, we're going to have Q&A at the end. There are 7 kinds of form objects that you could add to your forms. They are component, field, calculated field, group, text, image, and spacer. You could affect visibility from each individual form object in 3 different views. Every form object added to the form can be seen in 3 views, which is, as you can see, list view, detail view, and edit view. Each type of view is identified with its own icon. The view options can be found here on the right end of the form object. To locate these views on the form object, you would go into the form builder for a theme. And this is where you would customize the type of visibility you want for each form object. Now, if you hover your mouse over each icon, it will tell you what type of view each icon is. When you select a view, the icon will become highlighted, as you can see here. So let's see this in action. Here we're looking at a record on the grant request card. To the left, you'll see records and their information. What we're seeing to the left of the record is a form object in list view. And what we see here is what's in the list view with a little bit more styling. Now over to the right, this is what you see in detail view. Now, if we enter the edit mode, you'll notice that the information that was once on top of the card is now gone. Now, the visibility tab of a form object will allow you to control the view based on states, the user profile, and even having the option of read only in certain states. You can also control the form object's visibility in list, detail, or edit view here as well. In the visibility tab of a form object, you can control which state of the workflow this form object will show. You can select who has the ability to see a specific form object and also set it to be read-only. Any selections moved from the left column to the right column will be granted visibility. As an example here, under show only when in states, if I move granted from left to right, this form object will only be visible in the granted state. You can also see that only users with the employee profile, in this case, can view this form object in that granted state. There's also read-only options that allow the element to be viewed only based on the certain state selected here. Now, if no selections are made and all options stay on the left, or if all options move to the right of the column, that means it is visible for all. We recommend as a best practice that if you prefer to have all profiles see the form object, simply leave all the options in the left column or the default setting. Also in the visibility tab, you will see a blue box labeled conditions. Similarly to adding advanced filters on a card, adding conditions here means that a form object will only show if it meets said conditions. The show conditions section below requires advanced knowledge of Liquid code to use. It can affect who and when someone sees it, even to a specific user. One thing to keep in mind is please do not apply any code here without advising by a Flux support agent first. Now, you might be wondering if you can affect the visibility of certain document types. Let's say you want to be able to display correct documents and have the appropriate internal and external settings for access. You can do so by going into the admin panel and into the Documents tab of Card Documents. Let's take a look. Okay, so under the Attributes tab here, the important thing to take note is the Permissions dropdown right here, in which you could specify who can see this document type. You can select one of these options. External users only see documents uploaded by external users. External users see all documents of this type. External users never see the documents of this type. Document cannot be edited or deleted. Only grantees and internal users see documents of this type, not reviewers. And only reviewers and internal users see documents of this type, not grantees. Now let's talk about profiles. Each profile, ranging from grantees and reviewers to employees and board members, all may have different views on their Flux dashboard. Let's go ahead and take a look. In the admin panel, under User Settings, the top left tab labeled Profiles is where you would control what dashboard views each profile has. You can rename the profile type, select the appropriate category, which affects the rights that are pertinent to that profile, assign a dashboard theme, and the dashboard template. Another important option is allowing users to add or remove dashboards. In the user settings, you will see 4 tabs. Please keep in mind that between the profile and roles, the roles will affect visibility on workflow states. And as a general note, permissions affect visibility based on profile. These are normally set up for you by Flux before your site is live. Thus, no changes should be made here unless you've been instructed to do so by a Flux agent. Okay, so that's going to conclude today's webinar on the basic form visibility, and I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any features I did not cover extensively, we will be hosting trainings in the future to address these features. You'll also may learn about any of these features by visiting our knowledge base. Now let's open it up to some questions. Okay, first question. If I have a form object in a group, will the visibility be affected by the visibility settings of a group or just as a single element? It's a really good question. Yes, the group setting visibility will take priority over any field object. For example, if a field only has visibility for edit only, and the group that it's housed in has visibility for detail view and edit view, the field object will also have that detail and edit view visibility. Okay, next question. We have grantees uploading documents. When they do, they see other documents that are part of a different request theme. I do not want grantees to see documents to upload for other requests. Is there a way to correct this? The answer to that is yes. There's a way to control what document uploads are available based on request themes. So if you go into the admin panel, in card documents of the request, when you can determine which documents are going in which request model theme. If you do not select model theme, the document will be shown in. When uploading, the document will actually show up in request themes in the documents component. It looks like that was the last question there. So we're going to go ahead and call it for today. You'll be able to find video recordings of past webinars and any continued Q&A on the knowledge base. So today we went over visibility. We learned the visibility options on the form object. We looked at the visibility tab, took a look at document visibility and profile visibility. So again, to learn more and access the video recording of this webinar, along with any extended Q&A, please visit our knowledge base at flux.io/knowledge. There you'll be able to find a list of our upcoming webinars, links to register for future webinars, and recordings of past webinars under training webinars. Or of course, feel free to ask us at support and we'll be happy to help you. Thanks again for joining us today. We hope to host you again at our next training. Have a great day.